We are in the Cragieburn Forest Park, which is just out of Christchurch in New Zealand. We've got the Southern Alps on our doorstep. This is a great place to come riding. Downhill mountain biking, when you ride together, sometimes you can just push yourself more than what you would normally. I think I probably first met Sam about 2002. Met through racing. We weren't friends when we were younger because we were competing against each other the whole time.
We're young rivals together, and then over the last couple of years we kind of like to ride a lot together. We get to go to these awesome locations, and like most people probably just hike up there and then they have to hike back down. We get to kind of suffer on the way up, and then you've got the reward on the way down. Downhill mountain biking, most people think you're just going straight down a hill and it doesn't seem like much, but it's a vary of all terrains, rock, grass, dirt, mud, everything you could think of, and you start from one point from the top of the hill and then you work your way down, so you've got corners, jumps. What we're doing today was more like trail bike stuff, so it can be flat, can be steeper. We got pretty good conditions, so it was a little bit boggy, muddy, but so grippy, and yeah, it was kind of like, for me, it's like the best conditions you can ride in.
There's got some amazing trails out here in the native and the alpine environment. You get such an amazing broad mix of like really open tussocky sort of areas and some amazing just native beech forests. You get some really cool steep stuff and then some great just sort of flatter, flowier sections of trail, so it gives you a massive variety. Technique on a mountain bike, especially for downhill, like you need to be quite a skilled rider because you encounter so many different types of tracks, and you know, sometimes one weekend you'll be at a race and it'll be hot and dry and dusty, and then the next weekend it can be completely muddy and wet and cold, and it's a whole different skill set to ride that. So you really need to have that deep kind of skill set to be able to be an all-rounder for every kind of track. You get a big variation between people, like you get a lot of different styles and people ride the bikes differently, but at the end of the day it doesn't really matter. You can be, you know, look as goofy as you want, but if you're going the fastest, then that's going to win at the end of the day.
The suspension and the setup and your bike and gelling with that bike is probably one of the main keys, because if you feel good on your bike, then like you feel like you're Superman, you can do anything, and if it's not working with the bike and you end up fighting it, and then you seem to crash a lot easier. So when everything's working your way and your bike's working well and you're having fun riding, then it just seems like you can win races easily.
Obviously, because you're just primarily, your tracks are all down, you don't need as big of a gear range for a start. So generally we start by dropping from like 11 gears down to 7. So that just means you've got a sort of short amount of gears that you don't need to be changing gears all the time. The bikes are a lot bigger travel and suspension wise. The downhill bike will be 8 inches. Suspension travel. That just helps the big impacts, because obviously your bike's a bit bigger and you're just riding things a lot faster and a lot harder, so that bigger suspension just helps take those impacts and survive some of the bigger drops and jumps. Mountain biking, it hooked me from quite a young age. Just the adrenaline and the enjoyment of trying to push myself to go faster, and like I love the training to try and get fitter and trying to ride stuff better, and it's just this whole package. Sam always pushes me, and I like to think I can push him a bit as well, maybe sometimes.
Ever since school, it was just like all I wanted to do was mountain biking, and now I'm here, and yeah, I'm pretty lucky. It's the best sport in the world, I think.